Hi, I'm Miss Shepherd. I am the head of geography at Copley, and I'm going to talk you through the AQA GCSE specification for geography to help you with your decisions for your options. So, we the course at the moment is 3 examinations, which you will sit in the summer at the end of year 11. I'm going to go through each paper in a bit more detail so you have a bit of an idea as to the sort of topics that we cover for each paper. The old spec used to do coursework. That has now gone and they've introduced the paper 3, which I'll come back to later on. And it is all one paper now, so they've got rid of the tiers for higher and foundation for those who have done GCSE geography in the past. Okay, so I'm going to go through paper 1, which is physical geography. It is a 90-minute paper, and it covers 3 topics in total. So the first topic that we will look at is the challenge of natural hazards, where we will do a bit on tectonic hazards, so having an overview as to what they are, with then a focus of earthquakes, where you will look at 2 case studies to be able to compare the effects of both. Then we will move on to weather hazards with a focus of tropical storms. Again, learning a case study to see the effects and responses to that, as well as looking at UK weather hazards as well. And then finally, we're looking at climate change, which is a real focus at the moment across all geography teaching. So I can imagine that'll be quite a significant part of the paper for that section. Section 2 is the living world, where we look at different ecosystems with a focus of tropical rainforests, looking at the management of them and the uses. And then we focus on hot desert environments, looking at the opportunities and challenges in those environments and any management strategies needed. And we look at small scale ecosystems to understand sort of the role of different components. Then we have section 3, which is physical landscapes, which is split into 2 sections, which we are going to focus on coasts, again looking at what they are and physical processes and landforms, and then the uses and management of them. And rivers, again, the same as coasts, looking at landforms, processes, etc., etc. So that's paper 1. Paper 2 is, again, an hour and a half. And this one is testing human geography. They are normally a week apart from each other, so you shouldn't really sit the same paper in the 2 papers in the same week. They separate them by a week. And we cover, again, 3 topics in this paper. So the first section is urban issues and challenges. So looking at urban environments, so our major cities across the world. And we do big case study on Lagos in Nigeria, looking at some of the opportunities and challenges there, and looking at how they are moving forward in becoming more of a global city. And then we look at Manchester, again, looking at the opportunities and challenges with a focus on regeneration and sustainability. Second unit is looking at the changing economic world. So we look again at Nigeria and the UK. So we're looking at the economic structure of Nigeria, why they are pushing forward and developing quite rapidly, and then looking at economic issues in the UK with a focus around the north-south divide and strategies to overcome that. Section 3, like the section 3 of physical paper, it is split into 2 sections. So you have one aspect where we look at UK resources, looking at food, water and energy supplies in the UK. And then we have a focus on global water supplies, seeing where in the world has water and what strategies can be done to overcome any issues with that. Paper 3 is an hour and 15. And this one tests fieldwork activities as well as containing a decision-making exercise. The decision-making exercise section, we normally receive a pack of information about 12 weeks before the exam, where I have about 2 weeks to condense that information down to some lessons that will be taught, and there will be then some exam questions linked to that information, and then finally a decision-making exercise. Some of those in the past, there have been a focus on tropical rainforests, where they received lots of information about the opportunities, the pros and cons of building a road network through the Amazon jungle. And then the question was, should that road be built? So the decision-making exercise is quite self-explanatory, really, from that information. There are lots of skills in that section. There's a lot of maths and statistical skills. So we will focus on that at the back end of year 11 so that they are absolutely perfected for that paper 3. And then there is a focus on fieldwork. As part of the requirements for the course, you have to complete 2 separate days of fieldwork off school site. And we are going to spend one of those days in Manchester, looking at urban regeneration and looking at how that has changed the character of the city in 4 different areas around the city centre. And we will also have a physical fieldwork day where we will go to Formby Beach, looking at sand dune profiles and looking at if they are a suitable sea defence for that area. In terms of help and support, we offer revision guides that are quite helpful learning the basics. We also have our own revision materials that me and Mr. McManus have developed over our careers that are really fine-tuned for the case studies and for the exam requirements. We have open doors, so we do drop-in sessions anytime that you see fit. So we have got lots of support from me and Mr. McManus to ensure that you are able to achieve your grades. In terms of what skills geography provides, well, it has a lot of skills. There's just a few there on the screen for you, but obviously the obvious ones like map reading, we have lots of decision making, some evaluation questions, which are our 9-mark essay questions. And a lot of the skills gained from geography are useful for in school with other subjects, but often also after school. And they are highly sought after by sixth form colleges, universities, and employers as well. In terms of potential careers, you could go anywhere with geography, really. So lots of people who have studied geography have gone on to those sectors there, from law to finance to design and media, to working abroad, to going into childcare. So there's lots and lots and lots of potential job opportunities linked to geography. Coursework, I've already mentioned, we don't have coursework anymore. They got rid of that for this new spec. Does it go well with triple science? So a lot of people will be making that decision. It is a perfect combination. So there's a lot of content in geography that will sort of cross over to certain aspects of science as well. And then it also links quite nicely with maths. So are you a good geographer? So if you are interested in the subject and the world around you, then the geography is right for you. It is really important that you have that interest, because that is what we will be studying. That you are an all-rounder. You have good inquiry skills, so you are thinking about why these things may happen, and you don't mind working with numbers. I spoke to a couple of my year 11s and I asked them, is the subject fun? And they were quite honest with saying that some topics are better than others, like all other subjects. They really enjoy the natural hazards and they really enjoyed the field trip as well, because they enjoyed seeing that out in actual real life from what they've been learning in the classroom. I asked them, is it hard? They said some aspects are difficult, like all subjects, but they find that our support as teachers has helped along the way. And finally, are they glad that they took it? They said, yeah, because it helps them to associate things to their real lives and helps them understand the world a little bit better for when they leave Copley. So that's GCSE Geography. Have I got any questions? No. Okay. Year 9s are going to have a taster session in school. So if there's any questions, they can ask them in those lessons as well. Okay, thanks guys. Have a nice evening.